We are in Topeka, Kansas, and specifically we're standing in front of the Monroe Elementary School. And this is the site where Brown versus Board of Education went down. Brown versus Board of Education was a Supreme Court decision that mandated integration in public schools, overturning the 1896 Supreme Court decision of Plessy versus Ferguson, which implemented separate but equal segregation in schools, saying it was not in violation of the 14th Amendment. And so this is basically the starting point of the civil rights movement in the United States. My name is Henry Rollins, and I'm embarking on a tour through every state capital in America, all the way up to November's presidential elections. I want to learn a few things, and knowledge without mileage equals bullshit. So come follow me into what Mark Twain called the territory. This is Capitalism 2012.
I would say most Americans out there have heard the term Brown versus Board of Education. It's one of the few court cases other than Roe versus Wade that most Americans have heard of. And it's the one that is symbolic of well, when we do something right in the United States. When we say that segregation is bad, it's a lame idea. Let's go ahead and remedy this. And so where you are today is actually where it all took place. All classrooms, they've all been redone so that visitors can get a feel for the story of Brown versus Board of Education. The African American community, like many, many communities that have been oppressed, believed that education was going to solve a lot of their problems. Big emphasis during Reconstruction on getting black kids as educated as possible.
So this is the place where a major American corner was turned.
Well, I mean, this set the whole tone for civil rights. You know, once this happened, everything else started falling. It was an elementary school that served the community around here, and actually a much larger community because it was a black elementary school. Topeka was allowed by the state of Kansas to segregate its schools whether or not the population wanted them segregated. So this was a black school, right. And the kids in the neighborhood, it was a predominantly black neighborhood because this was an area that was settled early on. It was very interesting. An abolitionist had actually settled this portion of Topeka, and he was a land developer, and he said, you know what, I'm going to open it up to blacks and whites to live here together. And back in the 1870s, there was white flight from this area as a result of that. So it became a predominantly black neighborhood. Mostly black kids were attending the school. And then from other areas of Topeka, like the Brown family, they came a distance to come to this school. Even though there was a school that was closer to them, the kids could have walked to that school. Instead, they came to this school much farther. And so the Brown family said, hey, this is a crazy idea. They were approached by the NAACP, and lawyers advocating for the elimination of discrimination education. The family said, you know what, if you're going to put us in one place, away from everyone else, it tells our kids there's something wrong with them.
It's a gentle apartheid. It was what it is.
Yeah.
In that, well, here's your beautiful school. Yeah, but you're not, the real world is black and white and brown and people and different ethnicities and Muslims and Jewish folks and everyone on the subway together. And if you marginalize and ghettoize people, one school, one race, those are formative years.
Those are going to have major effects on someone for forever.
Huge, huge, and it will reinforce stereotyping, and it leads to a self-segregation. So that concludes our Topeka, Kansas segment. And now we're going to go on and roll on to a place called Little Rock, Arkansas. And as you know, I have quite an association and special relationship with the state of Arkansas. Don't get me started. See you soon.